Aspen University, CJ405, Community Policing. I'm Andre Rosedale, the instructor for the course. This is Module 4, Discussion Question 1, which reads, discuss the 4 traditional key measures used to evaluate police. Do you believe these are sufficient to gain an accurate assessment of officers? So you're going to get your information from textbook or other scholarly source. Please make sure you put a good APA reference at the bottom of your initial submission. And then you will be able to see this video. I have worked for 3 police departments in the municipal setting in the state of Connecticut, and none of them had any traditional measures to evaluate police. Quotas are illegal in the state of Connecticut, so proactivity is not one that is used. Assessments, we never had quarterly assessments. I suggested them and brought one in from the counseling form that you would get in the military, that you would get every month, and if things didn't improve, you would if things didn't improve, it would go from your team leader to your squad leader to your platoon sergeant and up your chain of command if you did not improve with your correct counseling efforts. And counseling reports could be positive as well. In my first department, we had assessment tests. We did have assessment tests for promotions. You had to be qualified for the position or the rank that you were testing for. And then we would have assessment centers where you would write an essay on, for example, what you've done for the department. And then another essay would be on where you saw policing going in the certain town that I worked for. And then you'd go before an oral board, which would have 3 or 4 officers of the rank that you were testing for. And usually you would have outside officers come in. And then you would have an assessment conference where you'd sit down with all the other candidates, and someone would have to start a conversation about a topic concerning that town. And you couldn't talk too much. You couldn't talk too little. You couldn't overwhelm people. You couldn't argue with people. You had to kind of keep the conversation going. It was a very difficult and stressful scenario. The next town that I worked for was very small, and promotions were just pretty much based on relationships within the department. The department that I work for now, for the most part, we have promotion tests are written tests, an oral board with peers or superior officers from other departments, and then a chief's interview. And then the chief can pick from the top 5. As an addition to that, we have a thing called seniority points. And it's a weird equation, but if with my amount of seniority that I currently have, I could score a 70 on the test, just barely pass, and I could still have 110 points as a final grade, as compared to the new officer that worked his butt off to study for the test. And if he scored a 98 or 100 on the test, and I scored a 70 on the test, I would still have more points. And I think that was put into, I'm not sure, but I think that was put into the system when college grads started coming through and older officers started seeing that the younger generation was smarter and better prepared for them. We don't really have assessments. We have a thing called NIBRS, which is national, and that's pretty much the watermark right now. I just got an email saying that I was NIBRS compliant. All my reports were in on time. They all had different things set properly, and it's NIBRS compliant. So that's what we're looking at. So as kind of the end goal of this video, I would like to know what you go through in your workplace for assessment, whether it's a police department or social work or business, or maybe just a part-time job you have. What is your assessment, and what is your ability to gain the next rank? Let me know.